guys, Tomboy601, and welcome to Derflinger, the Tier 4 German battlecruiser, a new part of the new battleship line. This week we're going to be going through all of the new battlecruisers, going from the bottommost tier, here at Tier 4, all the way up to Tier 7. We're not going to be doing full reviews of the vessels today or this week, just because they feel well and truly like they are in early access, and given some indications, I have a feeling there are going to be some rework specifically in the area of commanders before or when these see a full release. So I don't want to give out a hard opinion on them for then a lot of my criticisms to then be moot because they've added things. So consider this kind of like a preview of these four ships. After all, they are in early access, so that does make sense. So Derflinger, let's go ahead and just talk about the commander I've been running. I've been running Clara Teslau just because, well, I like her combination of skills, and I think it promotes, it helps a lot with the with these boats. I think they go very well together, and they complement for what we have right now. Her base trait, main battery, traverse speed, and rudder shift time are both increased. Inspirations, I am running Cunningham and Franz von Hippe. And then we are running her unique skill, which is Boomsticks, which reduces our main battery reload, Porcupine, Firefighter, Master Mechanic, and Will to Rebuild. So that's who we're running right now. I think the other very popular one that I've been seeing a lot of people recommend is going to be Megatron. Megatron has been very popular because of Revocation Protocol, because he decreases the fire duration. And you may be saying, Tommy, why is that so important? And this leads me to the whole what is probably going to end up being reworked. If we go into the consumables, we can see we have a limited number of damage cons. These are like the Russian battleships, which, cool, I understand, or it does make playing these ships just a little bit more difficult, and that is kind of the theme of this line. It is a fun but difficult ships to play, but the community managers have already come out and said they're looking at adding these soon, and by soon, I think that translates to next update. We don't know if it's going to be a whole new commander or there's going to add on skills into the trees. Personally, I'd love to see a new commander, or a combination of both. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's kind of what you need to keep in mind. As far as the key stats here for Tier 4 Derflinger, you're looking at 47,600 hit points, 22% torpedo reduction. The artillery, you got 4 2-barrels, 305mm guns with a firing range of 14.6 kilometers, a reload time of 23.4 seconds. HE fire chance is 23%, though you're probably going to be firing AP a good chunk of the time. The other thing that you want to keep in mind that I kind of build these ships for is their secondaries. They aren't outstanding, but they do have great range, and I like to watch secondaries go burr. So, yes, we have 6.5 kilometer range on those secondaries. AA defense is one of the weak spots of these vessels. We're looking at a very, very small amount of AA on these ships. Maneuverability, 26.5 knots, turning circle 740 meters, and a rudder shift time of 12.9 seconds. And finally, concealment, we're looking at 12.9 by sea, 10.3 by air, and 9.8 when firing in smoke. Finally, let's go and take a look at that armor viewer. You can see we do have a beautiful icebreaker bow, and then we have a 19mm bow above that. Then we kind of have, I want to call it an upper cupola, but it's like an upper armor belt within the ship. I'm seeing if I can find it. That orange little bit of extra armor. You'll note that it does not carry on the back, and that will be the demise, our demise in the game that you're about to see. This game coming up is going to show, I think one of the big things about these ships is they are not armored like battleships. They are the traditional battle cruiser. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and dive on into a match with these ships. And we are here on Warrior's Path in, of course, the Tier 4 Derflinger. So How do you want to play the ships? How do you want to approach these ships? To me, like like we've kind of been saying, they are battle cruisers, so you want to play them in that kind of hybrid role. For me, the most important thing is taking that staying close to islands kind of trait of of cruisers is kind of where you want to stay with these battleships. The islands do a couple of things for you, especially when you get in the higher tiers. But the islands do a couple of things for you. One, they allow you to disengage very easily, which is what you want to be able to do because of the lack of armor. You tend to take a lot of pens in these ships, not a lot of citadels, but a lot of pens. You can, of course, heal those back with all of your heals, but you need to last long enough in order for your heals to proc and then cool down and proc and cool down. So being able to disengage strategically is very important because you want to be able to, have the time to heal up if you are given the opportunity. So we're going to kind of push into the center set of islands. The enemy destroyer has already been spotted. We are on high alert. Of course, these ships do have pretty good secondaries, especially when they are against destroyers. Once you get into more heavily armored ships, your damage, they won't be doing much. They're mainly going to end up doing more sort of cosmetic and fire damage. But Class Horn comes around the corner. We're going to pop our enhanced secondary batteries and just watch how he slowly goes down. Of course, our teammate helped us with the hit there, but the second round, we are hitting the Class Horn with a ton of firepower, and well, he's already down. Close quarters expert, first blood, all ours, exactly how we want to go. And we're like, okay, cool. We've eliminated one of their destroyer threats, and the destroyer threat that's going to be on our side. We eat a couple of torpedoes from our friendly, no big deal. It's not like we have friendly fire. It's not ranked or arena or whatever, so we're all good here. What do we want to do next? Well, we do have this Iron Duke who has kind of isolated himself. He's starting to get into the range of our secondaries if we decide to push in. We don't have the room to turn in on him, so we're going to have to turn out, do the nearly 360 degree, or is it like 270? We're going to have to do the 270 degree turn. Of course, our friendly carrier right here, noting that we have his support by dropping bombs on us. So, thank you, friendly carrier, for dropping bombs. That really lets us know that you're here. You're a team player. You're here to support us, and I thank you for it. Anyways, another set of bombs of a ringing endorsement of our skill right now. Anyways, Iron Duke finally in our sights. We're gonna go ahead and pop off those front guns. Guisano, the Italian cruiser, sailing broadside to us. These guns, they are more accurate than the German ships, but you kind of have to be prepared for them to go wonky on you, just because there are in general a very low number of them. I think there's 8 on this. I think that's about at the most you get is 8 out of any of these ships. So be prepared for some wonky dispersion, which is why we're running Cunningham to try. One, I know we made it worse by running boomstick, so we're trying to kind of cover that off, but I think the high rate of fire is very important with this. Anyways, we go ahead. We finally have Iron Duke within our secondary range, so we're going to go ahead, let those secondaries start chipping away at him, try to get to start some fires. We're doing fairly good damage up on Iron Duke right now. We get our first fire, exactly what we want to do. Friendly carrier is going ahead and engaging him, which is nice to see. We have another Iron Duke kind of behind that island right there. We're just kind of checking to see his angle. We know that Italian cruiser is out and about. We want to keep an eye on him. But right now, of course, our biggest threat is this Iron Duke. We're kind of just keeping ourselves so that we have all of our guns centered and ready on this Iron Duke. He hasn't been pointing his turrets to us, or else we would have softened up that angle, made sure that we weren't pointing dead on to him. But going around this way means that he's going to have to traverse his turrets in order to get any of them online, and well, he's not going to have the opportunity to fire back. So that is an Iron Duke now dealt with, though we do not get the kill. And then we have the Italian cruiser out there. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit him. Of course, this is going to be some of the more difficult shots, but our friendly Congo ends up taking him down. Excellent. Time to start to move into A. We can see they still have a significant number of forces over on this flank. We've kind of taken the air quotes strong side of the map, which is very unusual because I feel like a lot of times the strong side of the map isn't the one that gets the 2 capture points. But here we are. We have a Giulio Cesare, which we are just slightly worried about, and of course that Iron Duke, in addition to another cruiser. We're trying to see what we can kind of hit. Iron Duke finally starting to move out because he's being pressured by our aircraft carrier. While he does that, we'll go ahead, line up our shots. We're trying to get into secondary range because that's kind of the whole shtick with these boats is push into secondary range. Once you're in secondary range, chill. Let the added DPM of those secondaries kind of boost your way in, at least down in the lower tiers. Once again, the higher tiers, it's a bit more of a island hopping / kind of, get yourself dug in and force them to dig you out sort of boat, which is a ton of fun to play, especially with the fantastic torpedo angles these boats get later. So we have Iron Duke here, and we've yet to really take any big hits. So we're like, okay, let's see if we can finish off this Iron Duke. He's turning his guns towards us. We have our guns on target. We go ahead, fire out, and he has just a little bit of health. We've yet to use one of our damage cons. We're not going to proc it yet just because for one fire, we'll let it burn. We'll let it burn. Teams are now tied, by the way, so that is something to worry about. As far as what we're planning to do, my current plan right now, try to keep the island between us and the Giulio Cesare, and try to finish off Königsberg up here, because I feel like he could be the bigger threat to our team. So try to keep this cycle going between us and Giulio Cesare, finish off Königsberg, and then deal with Giulio Cesare. That's the plan right now. And I'll be honest, at the time of recording this video, I had not looked at the armor viewer to know just how significantly weaker the rear armor of this vessel is compared to the front armor. Because if you remember, we have no sort of heavy protection on the stern, and we give up that 150 millimeters of upper belt armor on the stern. So Giulio Cesare comes back and absolutely slaps us. And that is what you need to take away from this, is just how much these boats are not like regular battleships. They can be slapped around. You need to be worried. You need to be cognizant of their armor characteristics. We pull up the high cal right here, though at this point our only really option is to attempt to angle on Giulio Cesare, but he's gonna end up taking us down because, well, like I said, these boats, while they are fun, they are fast, the guns reload quickly. Later on, you get the torpedoes, you get the sonar. You do not have the armor, you do not have the tonnage to stand the time against true battleships. You can get away with some cheeky angling, but in the end, if the enemy knows what they're doing, you will be going down. So yeah, guys, that is Derflinger. A very strong start to the line, though I don't feel like this line truly comes into its own until tier 6. If you liked the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.